Hi, I'm the breakup psychologist. If you've been through a breakup with a fearful avoidant, you might be stuck on one painful question. Was I actually important to them, or was I just a rebound they used to get over someone else? Especially when the relationship is short, intense, and they move on quickly, it can feel like everything you shared was fake. In this video, we're going to unpack the difference between a true avoidant attachment connection versus a rebound relationship that only looks avoidant on the surface. By the end, you'll understand what was really happening in your dynamic, and more importantly, what that means for your healing. Let's start with a quick attachment refresher so the rest of this makes sense. Attachment theory says we tend to develop patterns in how we connect, especially under stress. Anxious attachment. I'm terrified you'll leave. I move closer when I'm afraid. Dismissive avoidant. I'm scared of needing you. I move away when it feels too close. Fearful avoidant. I crave closeness and I fear it. I move in, then suddenly push away. With fearful avoidant attachment specifically, the behavior can look incredibly confusing. One week they're deeply vulnerable, the next week they're cold, distant, or even cruel. They can say things like, "You're everything I've ever wanted," and then disappear. From the outside, this can look exactly like typical rebound behavior, intense connection, suddenly gone, often followed by someone new. But here's the key: not every fast, painful, short relationship is just a rebound. Sometimes it is a very real avoidant attachment connection inside a very wounded nervous system. Let's look at signs it was more than a rebound. I'm going to give you several signs. You don't need all of them, but the more that resonate, the more likely this was a real attachment connection, not just a placeholder. Sign 1. There was a pattern, not a one-time switch. In a real avoidant attachment bond, you'll notice a cycle over time. You get closer, they open up emotionally. Then, as intimacy deepens, they feel overwhelmed and start to withdraw, pick fights, or go numb. After some distance, they often circle back. This pattern might repeat multiple times, even in a relatively short relationship. If your story sounds like, "We kept having waves of closeness and distance, not just one intense honeymoon then a sudden death," that's a sign of a nervous system grappling with real attachment fear, not just using you as a temporary distraction. Sign 2. They shared real vulnerability. Did they talk about their past wounds, family, or deep fears? Did they say things like, "I've never told anyone this," or "I don't usually open up like this"? Show you sides of themselves they actively hid from others? Rebound relationships usually stay more on the surface. Lots of chemistry, sex, flirting, distraction, but not much true emotional exposure. If your fearful avoidant ex let you into their inner world, that suggests you touched something real for them, which is exactly what can trigger their avoidant defenses. Sign 3. They sought you out for comfort, not just distraction. In a true attachment, even an avoidant one, they don't just use you to feel good for a few hours. They text or call you when they're stressed, seek your opinion, reassurance, or presence. Turn to you when they feel overwhelmed, lonely, or scared. If, during crises, they instinctively came toward you, not just any random person, that points toward a bond, not purely rebound behavior. Sign 4. Breakup driven by overwhelm and fear, not boredom. Pay attention to how they left. Did they seem overwhelmed, confused, guilty, or ashamed? Did they say things like, "It's not you, it's me, I'm not ready, I'm broken," even if it hurt to hear? Did they look conflicted, like they were walking away from something they actually cared about? Versus detached, almost indifferent, quickly rewriting the story. Fearful avoidants often leave because the closeness triggers intense fear, not because you were meaningless. Now let's look at the other side, signs you were mostly a rebound for them. Again, this is about patterns and context, not one single behavior. Sign 1. The timing was right after a painful breakup. Classic rebound pattern. They jumped into your relationship very quickly after a significant breakup, divorce, or major heartbreak. They might have said, "I'm not fully over my ex," but still rushed in. Or they minimized the last relationship, but their emotional intensity didn't match their story. Rebounds are often about filling a gaping hole, not building from a stable place. Sign 2. The relationship was intense but shallow. With rebounds, you'll notice instant relationship energy, fast I love yous, big fantasies about the future, lots of physical intimacy. But if you look underneath, did they show real curiosity about your inner world? Did they remember important things you shared? Were they invested in understanding your triggers, your story, your needs? If not, you may have been soothing their pain more than building a mutual, grounded bond. Sign 3. When the void was filled, they detached abruptly. In a rebound, once they feel emotionally stabilized or they find a new focus, they can drop the relationship very quickly. There's often low follow-up, minimal remorse, minimal checking in, very little genuine grief. If it felt like they just switched off you once they felt okay again and immediately plugged into someone else or something else, that points more to rebound territory. Here's the hard, nuanced truth. With fearful avoidant attachment, it can be both. They can truly attach to you and also use the relationship to numb their pain from earlier wounds or previous partners. That means you may have been incredibly meaningful and they may have been emotionally unavailable in critical ways. Their inability to stay doesn't mean you are worthless. It means their nervous system is split between craving intimacy and fearing it. So if your mind keeps asking, was I real to them or not? The answer might be, yes, you are real. And their capacity to sustain that realness was limited by their unhealed trauma and attachment wounds. That's devastating, but it's not about your value. So what do you do with all of this? First, give yourself permission to stop detective work. Whether you were a true attachment figure, a rebound, or some messy mix of both, your task now is the same. Protect your nervous system, rebuild your sense of safety, learn from the pattern, not obsess over their motives. Practically, that often looks like maintaining no contact of seeing them or their social media keeps reactivating you. Exploring your own attachment style. Do you lean anxious, avoidant, or fearful avoidant yourself? Working with therapy, journaling, somatic practices, or other holistic healing tools to come back into your body and out of constant mental replay. A much better question then, was I a rebound, is what did this relationship mirror about my own wounds, and how can I choose differently next time? Because the real power isn't in finally decoding them. It's in becoming the version of you who no longer needs to chase emotionally unavailable love to feel worthy. If this resonated with you, and you want more psychology-based support around fearful avoidant attachment, anxious attachment, and breakup recovery, make sure you subscribe and check out the other videos on this channel. You're not crazy. You're not too much. You are trying to love someone whose system is at war with itself. Now it's time to turn that energy back toward you.